when I do an inventory of all of my crafting supplies, all of my yarns, all of my fabric, most of my notions, and also my whips and things that I have acquired to upcycle and then never actually have. Because a couple of years ago I had everything kind of under control, and then when my grandma died I inherited a lot of her stuff, and I am so happy that I did, but things very quickly got out of hand. So I started keeping an inventory, a physical one, because I am, you know, we all buy cute stationery and then don't know what to do with it. But for instance, this is just last year's inventory. I don't know if you can read any of that, but you can see I try to make it pretty. So I usually do my little inventory at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, you know, sometime around New Year's. And then again in the middle of the summer. It's currently August, so it's a little bit later than middle of summer, to just kind of gauge where I'm at, because I start the year with like, oh, this is how much I have and this is how much I hope to have at the end of the year. So obviously my goal is to decrease the size of my stash, but obviously I have an issue with acquiring things. And we've lived in this apartment now for 6 months, and I knew that secondhand and like flea markets and garage sales were a lot more. As soon as you come out of the cities, everything's cheaper. You can find a lot more stuff, and that has very much so been the case. So I have acquired a lot of things that I absolutely didn't need, but you know, it's too cheap to pass up. So what you gonna do? Essentially, it does get a bit too overwhelming doing all of my inventory at once. The biggest sections are of course fabric and yarns. So today I'm gonna start with yarns, because it just kind of seems easier. Yarns are usually smaller, and that also includes all of my like knitting whips, trying to get ahead on what's going on there. I thought it would be easy, because I was like, oh well, this is all of my yarn. This is just a box of yarn that I have. But of course that's not all of it. I keep like trying to fool myself that this is it, but it's not. I think we should start with the big yarns and then move on to these, and then I will have to scour the rest of the apartment for things I have, I guess, hidden from myself in other corners. Yeah, we're gonna do this on the bed. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm a normal person, so there's gonna be some messes in the background. I'm not gonna deny that this isn't a problem, but this is what it is. Okay, so let's get these out. Okay, so we have 12 cones of yarn. Actually, there's one more. I found a knitting machine. I found a knitting machine in a thrift shop, and I am currently working on my first sweater, which is so much fun. But I do have one more cone of yarn that's on there, so that is a total of 13, right? You're going to see when I start emptying that big tub of yarn that a lot of my balls of yarns are actually from these cones that I have woven into balls to just make it easier to knit with. And now that I have a knitting machine, I probably won't be doing that as much. But just so you know, you're going to see a lot of the same yarn again. And I'm not counting them as more yarn, essentially, because I mean, they're the same yarn, just in different places. They all came from one long thread. Oh, but there's just something about a cone that makes me so happy. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here. Okay, so what I can tell you straight away, all of these little pink ones, you can see they are super duper thin. You can hardly see them. All of these came from this cone of yarn. It's a cotton yarn. I have dyed it and I'm currently knitting with it together with some of this mohair. Got a surprisingly good color match actually, because it's so thin it just looks like they belong together. Yeah, so these ones, I mean this black one is one yarn, yeah, that's one. And we have all of these yellow ones. I found a really cute woolen sweater. Well, it wasn't cute, that's why I bought it. It was like half off sale at a thrift shop. So I got this yellow cardigan. It was hand knit from the beginning in a very like 80s model that I didn't like. So I unraveled it essentially, and I'm currently knitting a new cardigan with it. And so here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of the yellow ones. And here we have some type of experiment that I didn't manage to unravel. I wanted to see what would happen if you crochet on a lace panel. I was going for something, I think maybe like a stripy cardigan, but then the stripes were lace. I mean, I think it's a cute idea. I just really don't like crocheting. I've tried it so many times and I can't get it. And yes, here we have more of the green. That's from this green cone, so I'm not gonna count it. That doesn't look too bad. Wait, you can't see this one. That's 29 more balls of yarn. And then there is, I'm gonna have to go hunting. Oh no, wait, you know what? Okay, and then I have this one hank of this gorgeous pastel mohair. I am still working on that cardigan. Took a break over the summer because this is so warm to knit with. But yeah, that one's there too. That's another 6. Okay. Shoop. I have, this is the project bag for my scrappy sweater. There's not a lot in here. It does feel kind of silly when you're making a scrappy project and then end up having to buy more yarn. But every yarn in here is like either deadstock yarn or thrifted yarn. So I don't even like the cone that I had to buy that's on the knitting machine currently. I bought it from a woman who had a garage sale who had the original price tag from the thrift shop on it. So it's been like handed down for centuries, it feels like. Okay, but these are the yarns for that project that I still have. And I have finished the 2 sleeves. I'm currently working on the bodice, but here's a little swatch I made. I even did the ribbing. And then I'm just working mainly in white, stripes on every 20 rows, and then I'm working in some little colors here and there where I feel like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and some scraps. I'm gonna say 12. And I will also unravel this one and use it in the final knitting as well. So you know, nothing's going to waste here. Just like put them back so they don't get mixed up, and I'm adding in the rest of the whites just in case. I think I have found all my works in progress, and I'm also sitting on this. So this should be it, and honestly, I kind of feel like this is unusually small amount for me personally. Because I have been loom knitting this scarf over the past couple of months. I think it's turning out beautiful in this gorgeous peachy mohair and that dyed cotton that I talked about. I'm doing some kind of like crisscross 8 pattern stitch that gives us this beautiful like wavy texture. It's very fluffy, it's double knit. It's not long enough yet, but look how cute this is. I do have another loom knit scarf, and I am planning to make more to just like put on my Etsy, because these are so good. They're so nice, and they work up really fast as well. But in order to finish this, I have to unravel another work in progress that I think is really cute, but it just turned out wrong. So I'm working with a total of 4 strands of each. 4 strands of cotton, 4 strands of mohair. So this one just has 2 of each, and then I need another ball to finish it off. But in order to finish it, I have to unravel this sweater that I started maybe in February. It is just a pattern with blue stitches slipped and then pink all over. The raglan increases are separated with these blues, and I really like the idea. I like the pattern. I do want to actually make something like this. I just know that I think it's really cool, but it's nothing that I would wear. And also, even though I went up in needle size, like some of my needles are in millimeters and some of them are in like American measurements. So these are needles number 5, which I mean, I obviously could see that they weren't 5mm needles, but it's way too thick and compact for my liking. So I'm gonna unravel it, but I do feel like I need to write down how I did this before I unravel it, because otherwise I'm gonna forget and then I'm never gonna do it, and that'd be sad. I think I'm going to actually try this on my knitting machine. In fact, it's gonna be so much easier. Yeah. I'm gonna do that, but yeah. So what's been stopping me is that I just don't wanna sit and write down the chart and stitches and what I did for this. But I have to do it before I unravel it, so I can't continue working on this scarf because I haven't unraveled this. And you do kind of make weird decisions for yourself that you have to live with, and maybe tonight's the night. Who knows? And then I have one that I recently picked up again. It's this cardigan. I just picked up stitches and started on the sleeve. I I am actually happy with how the body turned out. I am kind of nervous about this because this is such a very like 80s yarn. It's incredibly fluffy, like it has no weight to it whatsoever. Like, because sometimes you kind of feel like, oh well, when I have the full garment it's gonna hang better because it's gonna weigh itself down. This one probably won't. So it is like already a bit boxy over the shoulders, so I'm doing like a trial sleeve where I did some short rows. Maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe that'll just make it look like I have shoulder pads, I don't know. But yeah, because the sleeves that I had already done, they were way too small, so I am working up the energy to unravel them and work this way down instead. Yeah, but this is gonna be gorgeous in the winter and in the fall, and anytime it's a bit chilly because it's so soft, it's so warm, and it's so stinking light. I mean, I've been excited about this for months, but I mean, it feels good to actually be working on it again. Okay, and then I have this. I still love this cute project bag. And here I have the knitting with this gorgeous blue cone yarn. As I said, held 3 strands together. I can show you. Like, this is the back panel. It's just a glorified rectangle essentially, but like, are you seeing how soft and drapey that is? Very stretchy. Is this the right side? Yes. I will not remove any pet hairs on here, or my hairs as well. I'm completely freehanding this based on a sweater I've seen pop up in like the knitting subreddits a couple of times over this year. Yeah, I'm gonna put a picture here. And I have just finished both of the front panels, so I'm gonna join them together. But essentially, it's just this very scooped neck, and then there's whatchamacallit, a little slit, a keyhole. So yeah, I'm gonna join these together and then just keep working on the front panel. And when I seam them together, I'm gonna try it out. I'm either going to do like a crocheted white border all around, just like the picture has, because I think that would be especially cute around the keyhole area. And I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do sleeves, and if the crocheting doesn't work out because I'm so bad at it, maybe I'll just knit I-cord all around, because I really like the look of that, and I don't want any ribbing, and I don't want the edges to roll, and I-cord looks really nice as well. So that is in the works. And here are the finished sleeves from my knitting machine. I would say that, yeah, as you can see, we have the scrappy raglan thing going on. Of course, as I did get like a baggage book, I've been obviously inspired by the scrappy things. So I am using up my scraps. I do want to say though that these green stripes on the sleeves was from some Swedish wool that I have made a vest out of, and this was like the leftovers. It's a beautiful wool, but I ran out. But this yarn held 3 strands together and looks, I mean, it's almost the exact same color. You can hardly tell the difference. Okay, maybe you can, but you kind of can't. And so I just cast on the bodies for the sweater. I did a crochet cast on. around the needles, and then 1 row with the green before switching to white, and then doing a green stripe and then white again, and then for the ribbing portion. So I'm currently working on that. It's gonna be so much because you know you have to undo every other stitch, ladder down, and then crochet it back up on the knitting machine, which I don't mind, but it takes a really long time, and I don't really have an ergonomic chair to sit in, so it gets kind of uncomfortable. Yes, but I did have to do the crochet cast on and probably a majority of the stripes with this green yarn from this green cone instead. I can probably do a couple of stripes with the original green that I have left, but honestly it's probably just good that I have less wool in the bodies, because you know this is a lot of different yarns. It's mainly cotton, some acrylic, and some wool mixed in. But yeah, it's gonna be incredibly warm, this sweater, which I'm looking forward to, absolutely. But I think that having something that sort of aerates it a little bit is probably a good idea. Let's move on to my last work in progress. I have to say, I'm honestly so proud of myself for only having this many works in progress. Okay, so this is a raglan cardigan I started. Works top down. None of those knitting everything in a circle and then chopping down the middle. I'm too scared to do that. I'm also really bad at just color work in general. But this is what I have. I am, sadly, going to unravel it. I mean, I love the pattern of the cardigan. I just don't really like the colors that I chose, because, I mean, this red zigzag is surrounded by pink zigzag, but you can hardly tell because that color is so close to the yellow for some reason. I should have probably just, you know, switched the placement of my colors, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna, I've been trying out like different color combinations to see what I would like, and I don't really know what I would want. I think I'm just going to work the same pattern but without the charts, so it's just a solid yellow cardigan, because the fit looks really nice. It's just straight, but it has this nice wide collar that sits close to the neck, and yeah, someday I'm gonna have a go at making this cardigan with another set of colors. Maybe I should make a green cardigan, or maybe I should make a brown and blue cardigan. I think that's my issue, because I can think of like 2 colors that look good together, but this is 4 colors and it just fucks me up, man. I have no idea how to choose those colors and like also not looking too boring and too like old lady like. I mean, I am an old lady, but sometimes you maybe want to look a little bit like the age you are, instead of, I don't know. I love old ladies though. I just don't want to look like them yet. I mean, I'm getting there, but not yet. Okay, yeah, so this is gonna, I'm probably just gonna undo it until I can remove all of the color work, and I am also gonna be able to reuse this, because I am using this red, and I'm gonna be able to use this white on my scrappy sweater instead. And then, I mean, I have a whole cardigan's worth of yellow yarn, so yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. I just have to get, but unlike also, this is not like the pink sweater, this checkered sweater, because this is just a pattern from a magazine, so I can just unravel it and never think about it again if I don't want to. The funny thing is, in the magazine, they actually use the same colors in a different order, but they had the base the base color was blue instead. So I mean, it looked really good. It was just actually a pure accident that I chose the same colors with a different base color. What you gotta do? Okay, so I am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 works in progress. That's not too shabby. Okay, now I have to move on. Well, okay, I have two other like types of yarn. I have my weaving yarn and my tapestry yarn. I think that's, I mean, the weaving yarn is gonna be pretty quick. No, it's not. Oh my god, I put like a large portion of it in storage. But I also know that I have neither gained any more weaving yarn, nor have I used up any of my weaving yarn. So I'm just not gonna bother taking them out and counting them, because I know it's gonna be the exact same number that it was last year. And for my tapestry yarn, oh, actually I have used up a lot of it. I did weave a scarf with it, just because I wanted to try weaving something colorful with a lot of the same weight yarn, essentially. And so yeah, I have used up a lot of, so I'm gonna actually bring them out and count them and see what's the difference. How many did I use up? How many do I have left? Can I maybe stop acting like they're so precious just because they were from my grandma, when literally every thrift shop I've been to in the past 2 or 3 years has whole ass bags of them lying around. It's not really like scarce in any type of way. I think I don't think I have to feel bad about using them up when I know how much unused stuff is around everywhere over the entire world. So yeah, it's better that I use what I have instead of trying to make it seem precious. Okay, as far as I know, this is all of them that I have, and oh look, oh look, oh yeah, oh my god, I got this tiny loom before I got a real one, because I really wanted to try it, and I can make these like little squares are so stinking cute. I was gonna make like a lot of them, and my plan was to join them together with these pink yarn in between the squares, because I really like these colors together. And like, do you get it? Do you get it? Can you see it? Like that, essentially, but like in between and around all of the squares, so it would be a grid, because I really like squares. But I realized that you have to kind of keep the same tension when you're making these squares, and I couldn't do that apparently. So they're all different sizes. Maybe it can work out, maybe it can't. I don't know. Okay, let's count these. This, once again, the most gorgeous blue. 1. Okay, but that means I just have 47 left. That's not a lot. I used to have like 120, I think. So that's honestly great. I'm gonna check immediately, actually, to see how many I used to have. Okay, I did a quick check. My tapestry yarn, last year I had 93, and now I have 47. So that's really good, actually. And for my yarns, last year I had okay, so I started January with 46 balls of yarn, and then by June I had 67, and then I set my yearly goal down to 36, and I ended up with 70. So I have a hard time not shopping when I really want to shop, okay? I can't help it. I'm working on it. That's why I keep this inventory, to sort of like shame myself into doing better. And it does kind of work, actually. Kind of does. Okay, I have maybe gained some more yarn. I mean, okay, I'm not I'm not gonna be too hard on myself about this, because I also, maybe I don't want to talk about this. Maybe I don't. I just really like taking inventory. I just do. Okay, I think it's fun. But anyways, I usually weigh these cones as well, so I count them as one yarn, and then I have a separate section where I weigh them out to see if they have like decreased in size, and like maybe how much that is. And so, and also because what I've essentially done this year is buy 2 combs of yarn, this blue one and then the white one that's on the knitting machine, and then these I got in Finland, the blue ones, but a lot of these balls of yarns come from this yellow one. That's the sweater that I unraveled. I'm trying, oh my god, who am I kidding? Okay, I just have a lot of yarn, okay? I do have a lot of yarn, and I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, obviously, since I'm living in a smaller apartment now, it's not as easy. But there's like none of these yarns are just aimlessly here. I do have a plan for all of them. And also, oh, I really want to knit blankets on the knitting machine. I have so many things I want to do on my knitting machine. So I'm honestly considering just like taking my yarn listings down from Etsy. I mean, I haven't sold it yet. I haven't really mentioned my Etsy to anyone, but I mean, if you want to grab some really, really cool yarn and live in Europe, then check out my Etsy, because they might not be there very long. And this one is like from the 70s, and I think this blue one, based on the label, I believe it's from like the 50s or 60s maybe. And I mean, all of these yarns are like really, really cool. And I'm just trying to, I was essentially just trying to de-stash them by selling them. And also most people don't really need cones of yarns, including me. But I'm trying to like justify having cones of yarn. I've been obsessed with them for like my entire life. And now I'm an adult and I just realized, you know, you can just buy the things that you want. And I mean, honestly, I could just have this standing on a shelf as a decoration. I think it's gorgeous. I want to, like every time I get a new cone of yarn, I take a selfie with it next to my face. Because I just love it so much. So cute. So super cute. But yeah, they might not be on Etsy for too long because maybe I want to fuck around and find out on my knitting machine. Especially with this one. I want to make a cardigan. I used to hate cardigans, now I want a gazillion cardigans because I'm way too warm. And also I have a bunch of cute tops, and if I wear a knitted sweater you can't see them. So yeah, I'm entering my cardigan era, which is going to be nice for fall. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was trying to justify all of my yarn. I don't have to do that. I have a lot of yarn, and I'm honestly kind of okay with it. I mean, yeah, I am actually. I am. It is what it is. I made these decisions to acquire all of this yarn, and I'm happy about it. I love them. I love them all. It's great. But yes, I haven't, like, my works in progress, I am not I haven't separated them into like craft category in the past, so I can't compare my current works in progress to last year's until I have counted all of my works in progress, including sewing and weaving and whatever else I have going on. But yeah, I think that's it. I will probably be filming all of my inventory as I do it. It's just that I'm gonna have to split it up into several parts, because especially yarn is a lot and fabric is a lot, and then my last categories, like the smaller one, the notions, the ribbons, that one is probably, yeah, that's gonna be, I mean, the numbers are a lot higher in like the ribbons, because I have inherited so much lace from my grandma, which is why I started trying to crochet with lace panels. I mean, I do still kind of think it's a lot of fun. It's just not a lot of fun for me personally, because I do not have the patience for crochet. I wish I did, but I don't. So fabric is going to be a lot. Fabric and my like upcycle items that I'm planning to do something with but haven't yet, so they're just in the way. Yeah, those are going to be probably the biggest ones, even though I had 94 different ribbons last year, like ribbons and laces, and I'm not sure if I counted bias binding in that, but I have really gotten into bias binding lately, and I hate making it, and I don't want to spend the money on buying just like a tiny little 5-meter thing, because when I use something, I use it a lot in like everything, and so yeah, I think that's it. Fabric is gonna probably be the next one because it's big. I also do have fabric in storage, because I can't fit all of it in the apartment, and that's okay. I don't know how if I'm going to count those fabrics or not yet. I mean, I probably should, because otherwise my numbers are not gonna be right. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there. But the next video is gonna be fabric. I don't want to clean this up right now, so I'm not going to. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can do what I want, and I don't want to. I'm gonna go read a book. Goodbye. Wait a minute. I think that I would enjoy this combo. The funky boucle yarn with the solid blue stripes. Would I? I don't know. I think it's time for a nap. Let's have